Let us see the characteristic features of gametophyte in Pteridophyta group of plants. Here one special feature is there, that is gametophyte is also the independent stage. That means here both the stages, sporophyte stage and also gametophyte stage, both of them are independent of each other, and this is also green and photosynthetic, which is made up of the parenchyma cells as like in the other plants. And here the gametophyte is a sexual stage because it bear sex organs, and this gametophyte is called as prothallus. Why it is called as prothallus means here the gametophyte does not have root, stem and leaf like structure as like in the sporophyte plant body, but it have some thallus like organization. That's why we call it as prothallus, and this prothallus contains rhizoids. With the help of these rhizoids, the gametophyte get fixed into the substratum or the soil. Not only fixed into the substratum, the rhizoids will also help in the absorption of water and minerals from the soil which are required for photosynthesis. And apart from this one, the gametophyte is also be growing in the shady and moist damp places as like that of the sporophyte plant. But the adaptability of the gametophyte is comparatively less than that of the sporophyte plant body. That is the reason why here it is generally short lived, and adaptability is comparatively less than that of the sporophyte plant body, and it completes its life cycle by formation of the sex organs, that is antheridium and the archegonium. So here two types of sex organs are produced. One is a male sex organ called as antheridium, and the female sex organs called as archegonium. Plural, antheridia and archegonia. And here as they produce a female sex organs called as archegonia, that's why the pteridophytes are being included in archegoniates. Then let us see the structure of these sex organs. Before that, one common feature of the sex organs in which it is deviating from that of the sex organs of bryophytes. That is, in bryophytes also the antheridium and archegonium are present, but here in the bryophytes the sex organs are stalked. That means they have a basal stalk, but here mostly these are sessile. Sex organs are sessile, that is stalkless. Then multicellular, these are made up of many cells, and jacketed. Jacketed means there are surrounded, these sex organs are surrounded by some protective sheet that is called as a sterile jacket. So here the sex organs of pteridophytes are showing some similarities with that of sex organs of bryophytes. That is, in both of them the sex organs are multicellular and jacketed, but the difference is in bryophytes the sex organs are stalked and protruded, whereas here the sex organs are sessile and they may be protruded or embedded also. So that's what the variation can be seen between the sex organs of bryophytes and the pteridophytes. Okay, let us see the structure of the antheridium and archegonium. Here antheridium is nearly spherical or club shaped structure in which they are surrounded with a jacket layer. Very few cells, that is the jacket layer is made up of very few cells, and inside the antheridium when it become matured, so it start producing many antherozoids or spermatozoids. So many in number, and these antherozoids or spermatozoids are generally motile in their nature. So they may be motile due to presence of flagella, or sometimes in some of them they may be having cilia also. So here two flagella are present in Lycopodium like examples, whereas many cilia are present in examples like Equisetum and Dryopteris. So that maybe they are having flagella or cilia, but the thing is they are motile, and for sexual reproduction water is necessary. So this is a common feature shared by bryophytes and pteridophytes, that is water is necessary for sexual reproduction. Why? Because as sex organs, that is the antherozoids are motile in their nature, they swim in the water and get attracted towards the archegonium. So that is for that purpose they need water. Then next one is a archegonium. Here the archegonium is a female sex organ. This may be little bit protruded or partially protruded, and here this when it is partially protruded, the basal part of this archegonium will be embedded in the tissue of prothallus, and the upper part will be protruded outside. So if you observe the structure, the basal part will be large like this, and this part is surrounded by the cells of prothallus like this. This is the tissue of the prothallus, and lower part, as we know, it contains a big cell that is called as egg cell, and above that one the ventral canal cell will be present. Then above that one we can see this part as a this part is called as neck, and this lower part, this one is called as a venter. So that means the archegonium contains only two parts, venter and neck. Venter is embedded in the tissue of prothallus, whereas neck is protruded outside. And here venter does not have a jacket layer. Why? Because it is embedded inside the prothallus tissue, whereas here the neck is having the jacket layer. This jacket layer is made up of neck cells. Generally 4 vertical rows of neck cells are present. So we can see it is a section of the archegonium in which we can see one row and second row. Likewise 2 more rows are present, one is back side, one is a front side. So total 4 vertical rows of neck cells are present, which is in the form of jacket of the neck. And here the number of cells present in each vertical row is not specific in the members, it may be different in different members. So here inside this one we can see the neck canal cell. This neck canal cells may be 1 to many, and each neck canal cell will be haploid in its nature. And in the venter also we can see 2 cells, one is called as, upper one is called as ventral canal cell, and the lower one is called as a egg cell. So this is the organization that can be seen in the archegonium of Pteridophyta group of plants. And here when the archegonium become mature, what happens? The ventral canal cell and the neck canal cells, they disorganize or dissolve, and they form into a mucilage like substance. This mucilage like substance will ooze out, so which is useful for attracting the moving or motile antherozoids. So here this mucilage will contain a chemical called as malic acid. So here the spermatozoids are attracted because of this chemical, that's why we call it as chemotaxis. The same character, that is chemicals are attracting the anthrozoids are attracted because of the chemical. This is a common feature present in both bryophytes and the pteridophytes. Then here the spermatozoids will attach to this mucilaginous drop, and after that the mucilaginous drop will dry, and when it dries up, what happens, this will gradually move inside. When it moves along with the mucilage, all the spermatozoids which are attached to that mucilage will also enter into the archegonium. But out of all the spermatozoids which are entering into the venter of the archegonium, only one of the spermatozoid will fuse with the egg to form into zygote. So here the zygote formation will occur inside the venter of the archegonium. That means zygote formation means the fertilization, the syngamy is taking place inside the venter of the archegonium. And here, as we know that zygote is a diploid cell, and it is a first cell of the sporophytic generation. Then apart from that one, here the male gametes are motile, that is why we call it as a zoidogamy, and the sexual reproduction is of oogamous condition. That is why we call this as a zoidogamous oogamy type of sexual reproduction in the members of pteridophytes, which is a common feature shared by bryophytes also. So likewise the zygote is formed inside the venter of the archegonium. Now the zygote will start dividing by mitosis to produce embryo, and this embryo which is formed is also in the diploid condition, but it is multicellular in its nature.